Hey, and welcome back to Girl Chat Sports. This is episode 62. What's up? I'm Melissa, and of course, with me, the lovely
Stephanie.
Hey. So, I have a cold, and if you can't tell by now, I'm a little nasally. So, if it sounds like this for half the podcast, I apologize. I am trying to get better. But you guys, we have a great show for you to come today. We've got a guest on the second half, Mr. James Coleman, a.k.a. Big Game James. He was a former fullback from Florida State University in 2002 to 06. He's also a performance expert over at Train with BSP. He's a co-host over at the Sports Den out in Jacksonville, Florida, and is a writer for Gridiron now. We've been tweeting some of his articles, so please check those out, as well as a football analysis for First Coach News. Sorry, that might have been my sick talking. I don't know. But we're welcome back, Stephanie. We missed you last week or 2 weeks ago. We had the guys on from In the Zone, and
you had a great show.
We had a great show.
It was funny.
It was pretty funny. We missed you, though.
Nice to be back.
Nice to be back. So anyways, let's just jump right into it. Vegas sports. Man, our Golden Knights, besides the loss they had yesterday, they hadn't lost for 11 games.
They're first in the Pacific Division right now.
And they're number one. Can you say numero uno? Yes, expansion team, number one, Vegas. I hope the Raiders can, well, I don't wish it for the rest of the Raiders because it would probably hurt. Well, not really for my Seahawks because we're in a different division. But, I mean, it would be nice if all teams that came to Vegas could have this kind of impact.
We're only halfway through the season, and they are the best expansion team in the history of pro sports.
History, hashtag history, yes. They're doing great. They play the number one in the league, the Lightning, tomorrow night. 4:30 here in Pacific Standard Time. So for all those that live in Vegas like us, if there's away games that the Golden Knights are playing at, you can go watch the games and be at like this kind of like live watch party, which is over at the Golden Knights practice facility up in Summerlin, downtown Summerlin.
Yeah, and actually Derek England, the veteran defenseman, is having his best season ever at 35, and he actually signed a $1.5 million one-year contract extension on Monday.
Not too shabby.
And, he was our hometown boy. He played for the Wranglers, so
he
his
did.
family loves Vegas.
Hey, the Wranglers. Wow, that was a long time ago. Man, it seems like so long ago. Wow. So, yeah, congratulations to our Golden Knights. Hopefully, me and Steph will get to see another game here this season. They've been playing great, and so it's really awesome that they're doing so well, and we'll continue to support them. As far as our, the UNLV hoop squads go, excuse me, the men are in fourth place in the Mountain West, although they have a really great 13-4 record. They're only 2-2 in conference. So they actually they are playing currently now, I believe. They've got the New Mexico Lobos here at UNLV, Thomas and Mack Center. The women of UNLV Running Rebels, they are number 2 in the Mountain West with an 8-7 record, but they're 3-1 in the conference, and they actually are playing in New Mexico tonight, or they already have started. It was at 6 o'clock, so good luck to both them. Of course, you guys know by now, we've got our soccer team coming, the Vegas Lights FC. Their season starts February 10th. Me and Steph will be in the house.
We are so excited.
Super excited to be able to be live and present for one of the games.
So very exciting news. The first 5 players that they signed to preseason all have Vegas ties.
Really?
Sebastian Hernandez went to Bonanza High School and played for UNLV. Julian Portugal, he went to Palo Verde High School, and he also played for UNLV. Adolfo Guzman is a midfielder. He was born and raised in Vegas and went to Southwest Career and Technical Academy. Matt Thomas is a midfielder. He's a Palo Verde High School graduate. And believe it or not, he went to college in Billings, Montana.
What?
Montana, what?
That's your people over there.
And then last but not least, Marco Cesar Jaime Jr. He was born in Las Vegas. He grew up in Mexico. So it was really cool to see that the first 5 team members that they signed have Vegas ties.
Well, it'll be interesting to get to know more about these guys, more about the team, and be live at a game. We'll be seeing the first preseason game as the field at Cashman Center opens up on February 10th at 8 p.m.
Yeah, and yesterday they actually signed 6 more preseason players. So we're really excited to check out their season.
And we've got the Raiders.
Raiders!
Wah, wah.
So actually, they chose a construction company, Mortensen Construction, to build the stadium. Believe it or not, this construction company actually completed the 1.1 billion U.S. Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. So they do have some experience in building a state-of-the-art stadium. Actually, they are working with the Las Vegas Stadium Authority and the minority business community and public and private agencies to put together what the team refers to as the best community benefits ever drafted.
Wow.
One of the provisions says that minority and female workers must perform 38% of the construction work hours.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
interesting.
that would be nice to get the community involved.
There's actually a live stadium cam. So for all of you in Las Vegas or outside of Las Vegas, you can go to www.raiders.com/Las Vegas/live-stadium-camera.html and watch the live stadium cam, as you can watch along with us as the NFL, the newest stadium to be built in the NFL for the Las Vegas Raiders is actually, I drove up past it the other day and was like, holy shit. Look at it's like a dirt. They're taking dirt out because it's going to be about 6 feet underground level. And I was like, wow. But when you actually go out there, I'm like, there's no way there's going to be enough parking.
No
way. There's no way there's going to be enough parking. They're going to have to build something across the street, down the hall. They're going to have to tear down a few strip clubs over there. I don't know what they're going to do. But there is literally enough room for that stadium. That's about it.
John Gruden
is official, y'all. Officially the head coach for the next 10 years of the Raiders.
Apparently he's not too happy about them moving to Vegas.
Yeah, did you watch his press conference? They asked him and he was kind of like, I'm kind of like Marshawn, basically you're here for Oakland. You're here for the city of Oakland. So doesn't sound like he may not be looking to move to Vegas anytime soon. So for anybody that's going to have Mr. Gruden as a neighbor, watch out. He might not be too happy about that. Quick note. Shout out to Clarissa Shields, who is she still sponsored by Zappos?
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to Clarissa. She actually defeated Tori Shanoff Nelson, who we had on our show a few weeks ago in their Road to History fight that was on January 12th. Great fight. Tori is, what was she? She's 41. Yeah, 41. Was defeated by Clarissa as her only her only defeat, and Clarissa deserves it. It was a great fight, so we wish them both the best. Both ladies are bringing boxing around for women's boxing, and it's a lovely, lovely sight to see. And on to other things like the Seahawks clearing house. My team is not going to be my team anymore. It's going to be completely different next year. A little bit of NFL news and notes. So the Seahawks have fired their offensive coordinator. Their defensive coordinator is leaving, unfortunately. And we hired a new defensive coordinator, Ken Norton Jr., who was previously with us back in 2010 to 14. He's also coming from the 49ers. And we fired the linebackers coach, fired the offensive line coach. So we basically are starting over from fresh with Pete Carroll. and our players who hopefully will still be signing with us or possibly leaving during free agency because, well, we have a salary cap. But anyways, we shall see. Unlike that, Jeremy Lane's not worried because he's smoking major weed and getting pulled over for DUIs in Seattle. So shout out to Jeremy Lane, who we didn't get to trade because he failed his physical. We got stuck. Never mind. Let me just be. 2018, Kill Me Kindness, Don't Talk Shit, Melissa. Okay, got it. Talking to myself. Anyways. So in regards to the playoffs, we're going to touch base with our guest later on, James Coleman. But a little bit about the playoffs. It's been crazy. I don't know if anyone caught these, but obviously the New England beat the Titans. Jacksonville beats the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Hello, shout out to Matthew Carper out there. We know you got to go to your very first playoff game, and we're sorry it wasn't how you expected it to be. Yo, they did not do well, and, well, there's some steamy headlines right now with the Steelers in the offseason. Big Ben's out there talking about how he can't even call a quarterback sneak, which clearly you can. You're the quarterback, and you've been playing for how many years now? It's not that hard. He's trying to put shade onto the coach, and it should be the head coach's responsibility. So there's some tension there between Tomlin and Ben, which I think there's been in years before, but we shall see how this looks and how the offseason plays out some.
Enough shade that they part ways with their offensive coordinator, Todd Haley, today.
Yeah. Basically, okay, I think we're both good. No, thank you. So that should be interesting. The Jacksonville Jaguars, it is their first conference championship since 1999. And as Jalen Ramsey put it, in quotes, we going to the Super Bowl and we gonna win that bitch, end quote. I love his confidence, and I love his shit-talking abilities. It reminds me of some other players that I won't name to mention, but it's pretty interesting. They're going to be playing the Patriots in New England at Gillette Stadium at about noon Pacific Standard Time for all of us West Coasters out here. So please look out for that game on Sunday. For the NFC, the underdog Eagles beat the Falcons at their own home. It was so crazy. Boo! Yeah, Cowboys fans, they're always trying to get in it, but even though we're all sitting on the couch right now, they want to talk shit. It's funny is that they were playing at home and they're the underdog, but hey, it's cool. They still won. They broke out the dog hats, the little dog masks as like underdogs, and to right as of this morning, those hats are sold out.
Of course.
They're going to be, I can only imagine everybody in that stadium come Sunday is going to have a dog mask on. It's going to be kind of insane. It'll almost be like the dog pound. But just that they're winning, not like Cleveland. Cleveland throws the 0-16 parade. Can you believe that? Yeah. Sad days for Cleveland fans. Cavs and the Browns. Jeez. But anyways, back to NFC real quick. So the Vikings beat the Saints in a last second. When I say second, we're talking within 9 seconds. There was a walk-off touchdown by Stephon Diggs, who has beautiful teeth, by the way.
Man.
His teeth are amazing.
His teeth?
Yeah, his teeth. Well, anyways, I won't even go there. But he had a great catch. Unfortunately for Marcus Williams, the play that most people won't remember is him picking off Breeze earlier in the game in the fourth quarter. But they will remember him missing a tackle on Stephon Diggs and allowing him to make that touchdown to win and cover the over for all the bettors out there. And for all those who bet with me on Sunday and got the next half point, I had the Saints plus 5.5 and still covered. Thank you for kneeling, Vikings. Thank you for taking the knee on the point after.
That was weird.
I was sweating. I was like, oh, shit. They're bringing him back on the field to kick the point after? No!
Anticlimactic.
Man.
That was embarrassing.
But it was good because I won my bet.
I feel bad for the kid. Everybody blames him, and there's even been death threats against him. That's how football fans
are crazy. Especially, I don't know. I never thought Saints fans were that bad, but it's a rookie. It's maybe a rookie mistake, but the thing is that he had a great play earlier, and now he had this play. Unlike, let's say, in the national championships, Tua, he had a terrible sack right before he threw the greatest play for a touchdown to win the national championship. So, had his bad play happened first, we would never be talking about this, but of course it happened second. So, of course, this is all we remember, unfortunately. But shout out to Marcus, to Williams, and we appreciate you. Hard work. It's only rookie season. Shoot. Seattle will take you. We need some more safeties and corners the way they fall for our team.
So if the Minnesota Vikings actually go to the Super Bowl, it's going to drive the market of the ticket prices into the stratosphere.
Well, and it will be the only time in NFL history that the actual team has played in their own home field at the Super Bowl.
Right now, face value of the tickets range from $950 in the worst nosebleed
Wait, that's
section.
the face value?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And $5,000 for club seats that are typically gifted. So if Minnesota goes, imagine how much those will skyrocket.
Wow. Well, that Vikings-Eagles game is going to be also on Sunday. So we got, literally, you guys, we've got 2 weeks left of football season.
Ooh.
And so we've got the Jets, Jags, and Pats on Sunday at 12. Vikings, Eagles Sunday at 3:40 Pacific time, of course. This is also interesting with the NFC Championship game. We got 2 backup quarterbacks leading their teams into the game.
This is crazy.
Isn't that crazy? So Nick Foles, Case Keenum, both originally not starting. They were both originally backup quarterbacks starting the season, are both now headed to the championship games leading their teams. Pretty crazy that the final 4 quarterbacks, besides Brady, are Bortles, Foles, and Keenum.
The weirdest combo
Could you
ever.
imagine? Can you even picture that? Like, who would have ever thought?
Speaking of backup quarterbacks, Teddy Bridgewater is finally healthy. And when the playoffs started, Sam Bradford became backup now that he's healthy. So the future is unclear for Bridgewater.
Yeah, no kidding. When you've got somebody like Keenum taking over, hey, what can you do, right? Well, the hiring and firing continues in the coaching, I guess, coaching carousel. Mike Mularkey from Tennessee got taken care of. He's out of there. And like you just mentioned, the offensive coordinator Todd Haley from the Steelers did not renew his contract. Also this morning, looks like Jets offensive coordinator John Morton got the can. However, the Lions have decided to hire the Patriots defensive coordinator Matt Patricia, which should become official once the Patriots end their season, which hasn't happened yet. Cardinals hired the head coach Kevin Sumlin. Giants should be able to hire head coach Pat Schumer, who was the offensive coordinator for the Vikings, and the Colts will hire head coach Josh McDaniels, who used to be the Patriots OC. So the Patriots may have a different look next year with a different offensive coordinator, a different defensive coordinator. So that will be interesting, don't you think? Just a little bit?
I think it'll affect him one bit.
I don't know. Belichick's great, but maybe there's got to be some people back there turning the wheels behind his brain. I don't know. Maybe not. Not much in the college football news other than my boy from the Huskies, Myles Gaskin's going to be returning for his senior year with the UW. Lane Kiffin today hired a 24-year-old Charlie Weiss Jr. as his offensive coordinator for Florida Atlantic. He is now the youngest offensive coordinator in college football history. 24. What were you doing at 24? At 24, I had just moved to Vegas, and I didn't give a shit about anything but kicking it and partying. So that was where my priorities were. This guy's priorities clearly are a lot better than mine.
Stanford's running back Bryce Love finished second in the Heisman voting, and he will be back for his senior season. He had until Monday to say whether he's going to go into the draft, but he is looking to get the Heisman next season.
Wow. So college hoops, I mean, just the usuals, Villanovas, Virginias, Dukes. Some interesting ones, Texas Tech, Michigan State, Kansas also there, West Virginia, all in the top 10 for the men. Women, of course, UConn. I mean, well, they're like the Alabama of football, UConn, for the Huskies, for the women. But anyways, Louisville, Mississippi State, Baylor, Notre Dame, Tennessee. Oregon is actually in the top 10, so shout out to the Oregon ladies. Go Ducks. You didn't hear that from me. And South Carolina. Something interesting in the college hoop spectacle and the college hoop market, which really isn't college hoops anymore, but we all know LeVar Ball pulled his boys out, one from high school and two from college, and took them to where?
Lithuania.
Lithuania. Said, hey guys, we're leaving school, pack up your bags. So A, what father pulls both their kids out of school? Okay. And two, sends them half the way across the country to Lithuania to prep for the NBA how many guys are coming out of Lithuania from the NBA? So what are you really playing against? That's what I'm wondering. I mean, are you playing against guys that have NBA caliber talent, or you're just trying to get your kids
to get a
keep
chance
playing?
to show off, really.
Basic. And they are showing off, right?
Yeah. Like game 2, they had 0 points between them. Game 3, LaMelo scored 31 points and had 11 assists, 5 steals. Leangelo had 29 points for his first game. And then yesterday they had another game where Jello scored 22 points and Melo scored 14. So they're doing their thing.
Oh, Lord. I heard LeVar Ball sent 45 some shoes. Did you hear that?
No.
Yeah. Shame on you to both of you.
2 of my least favorite
Seriously,
people.
I know. Like the two, maybe they need to go hug it out because those two are gross. Anyways.
Speaking of the Ball family, Lonzo is out. He will not be playing this evening and likely not on Friday. He injured his knee in the overtime win against Dallas, so he will be out for a few games.
But he has been playing well, though, and that's the thing. What do you think about this? Like, did you notice how he starts playing well once his dad is out of the country?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the Lakers really have done a lot better since LeVar has not been near the court.
And even though we aren't doing well, the Lakers were the 4th in team merchandise sales during the holiday season. Apparently, Golden State, Cleveland, and Philly were in the top 4 with the Lakers.
Per usual.
And Lonzo Ball has the 11th most popular jersey in the NBA.
Not in my house. Never.
Steph, LeBron, and KD being the top 3.
Never. What else is happening in the NBA, Steph?
Oh, hey, the Los Angeles Lakers are going to...
Hey, more Laker news. What do you know? Welcome to Steph's Laker Love.
Elgin Baylor is going to receive a statue outside of Staples Center. 60 years in the making. So That was awful nice to honor him.
Wah, 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 wah. What else though? Anything? Oh, so did you guys catch this almost fight or could have been fight? Or now the guys from the Rockets are claiming that there was no real intrusion into the locker room of the Clippers, but there was some shuffle between between the Clippers game and the Rockets game. I think it was Monday night. And there has been some issues. So Rockets, James Harden, Trevor Ariza, and Gerald Green pushed into the Clippers locker room post-game looking to confront Austin Rivers, who was injured and not playing in the game, but apparently had been talking shit from the sidelines to some of the players, like Chris Paul, and on the Rockets. And come to find out, Blake Griffin was taken aside. Well, Chris Paul used to play there. So apparently he knew a back door or some secret entrance that links the two locker rooms together and was like leading a pack. So Twitter blew up. There was like memes everywhere. It was ridiculously crazy.
LAPD.
LAPD were getting called. Shaq and Chuck went off on NBA TV on TNT. Those guys were chuckling so hard about there being LAPD being called. And who's ever called the police? What are you going to say? That CP3 is trying to get me? I mean, they were hilarious. So come to find out today, a lot of those Houston Rockets guys are saying that it never happened. This isn't facts. This wasn't what happened. So I guess you'll never know unless you were there.
Yeah. Hey, following Monday night's loss to the Golden State Warriors, a bunch of prominent Cleveland Cavaliers members anonymously shared that their team is not equipped to recover and that they need help.
Well, we all knew that from watching them play, but it sounds like even I heard that they were maybe even playing worse to make their point more like, I don't know, to embed that point even further into like the front office. Like, hey, we're sucking on purpose now, and you need to help us out.
Well, apparently Isaiah Thomas isn't really doing his thing. He's still not getting as much practice as needed to get back in the game to find his rhythm. So we shall see.
Well, and the thing with Isaiah Thomas now is there's this controversy with the Paul Pierce retirement for the Celtics because, the Isaiah Thomas was supposed to have this video for the Celtics when he returned there to play. He unfortunately wasn't playing, and they actually didn't have the video. So Paul Pierce has had his number retirement night set for over almost a year now by the Celtics for February 11th. And then they were going to also add in Isaiah Thomas's video since they were playing there. Well, Paul Pierce just said no. Like, I don't want it. I don't want to participate in that. So anyways, we'll see how that plays out, but it looks like most likely it'll just be a day dedicated to Paul Pierce getting his jersey retired, which we can all appreciate. Number 34 is going to the rafters. Imagine that. Well, I think it's time for a little commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be joined with our awesome new guest, Mr. James Coleman.
How would you like to make the impossible possible? With professional and personal needs by Envision For You Concierge. With an array of services for you, the professional. So professional athletes, celebrities, VIP and corporate executives, Envision For You strives to assist with travel, hotel, luxury car service, dinner and show reservations, VIP services, as well as consumer relations. Envision For You also offers mobile services, as well as organic tanning, massage therapy, hair and makeup, men's grooming, fashion stylist, appointment setting, and more. Envision For You Concierge with nationwide services 24/7. Envision For You will never hesitate to go the extra mile for your professional and personal needs. So call today 323-300-4592. 323-300-4592 or visit online at envisionforyou.com.
Hey, and welcome back to Girl Chat Sports. We are back, and we've got a special guest with us today. We've got James Coleman, a.k.a. Mr. Big Game James. Welcome, James, to the show. We really appreciate you coming and joining us. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's cold in Florida. It's not supposed to be cold.
What's funny is I was out in Florida for the Jacksonville Seahawks game, and it was freezing. And I'm like, isn't it supposed to be warm out here? What happened? And now it's cold again?
Y'all brought that cold weather.
You brought the cold.
Out of the Northwest.
Nah.
The damnedest thing is like we have 3 seasons in Florida.
Uh-huh.
We've got summer, we got spring, summer. The summer goes to fall, which is 1 month, and then we got February. And like right now, February started a little early, and like it's got times when a couple years ago it dropped to 0,
No.
but then like the next week it'd be like 75, 80 degrees. So it's kind of like, it's really weird. Like I have winter clothes that are like 10 years old that look brand new.
See, we're here in Vegas and we just have 2 seasons. It's either
Hot
winter,
or
which
not
is
hot.
it's like winter. Yeah, it's like not hot, which is about November to January, and then from February till about October, it's hot. Basically, you might get.
See, I played y'all used to have an All-American game for college. I played there my senior year in 06, and I've never had to use chapstick. Like every time I think about Jamie Foxx talking about LL Cool J wearing the lip gloss and everything like that, and I was like, I've never had to do it, so I never understood. Boy, I was out there. It was not only was it cold, that dry air had outside my lips burning. I looked like a crack bean. Like I'm running through. Like we were staying in. I forgot what hotel we were staying in, but like I'm running through the gift shop. I done paid like $15 for a $2 thing of Carmex, and they think like it's something wrong with me. But it's a little chilly out there too.
That's that Vegas heat, man. It's dry too, but that's unlike out there when it gets that humid. You walk outside. I mean, we're used to the dry out weather out here, so we go out there to the south or the East Coast, get that humidity, and we're taking showers 5 times a day. It's pretty crazy. Anyways, so welcome to the show. We appreciate you. You were a former fullback for Florida State University from 02 to 06. You currently are the owner and performance expert over at Train with BSP. You co-host a show out there in Jacksonville at the Sports Den Live, and also a writer and contributor for the Gridiron now, as well as a First Coach News. So let's get into a little bit about football. Since you played football, you're a great football analysis for some of these people. There's been some major games this past couple weekends. We can start first with the college championship with Alabama and Georgia. I mean, what can we say? I read your article. You had an article that we posted on our Twitter from the Gridiron Now. It's in regards to player development. This freshman, Tua. Is it Tua? Is that how you can say it? I don't even know.
That's close enough.
Yeah, right. All my Hawaiian and my Tongan friends from Seattle and Hawaii are gonna probably be shooting me after this. But this guy he's a freshman. He has rarely played a snap. They decided to put him in at half. And look what he does. I mean, how do you explain something like that? Is it just his, upbringing? Is it him and the training he's had? Like you mentioned in your article, you can tell by some of these players growing up or by their play that they've had, great training in regards to preparing for times like these. I mean, he hadn't had a snap hardly ever, and he comes into the national championship for his first time playing and wins the game for him.
Well, it's a combination of a lot of things, and obviously him coming up, he's part of, they're trying to rename it, but it's called the Elite 11. So like with the Nike opening and a lot of these things coming up like that, they're kids who are getting elite level training. So, I'm not that old. I'm 33, but when I was about 18 years, I don't even know, however many years ago, when I was coming out of high school, there weren't really many things like this. This was just like training, speed development, position skill development were all considered things that you would do getting ready for the combine. So you have guys who are washed up athletes like me who don't want to go get real jobs. So what do? You go and you talk to parents and say, hey, I can teach your son how to do what I do or how to do what I did. So you got kids who are learning elite level and complex football analyses like at a young age. So Tua was a part of the Elite 11. He learned about those things. You can tell by the way his body's developed. He was training, so he knew how to break down coverages in high school. Fast forward, he goes to Alabama. He enrolls early. He sacrifices what a lot of guys wouldn't do, like prom and even going to your graduation to go and get prepared for the next level of life. And there you're going to see at least probably 15 NFL caliber players on your defense every day in practice. So with each week it gets better, but at that stage, what was shocking to me is that at that stage, it's really fast. I remember my first game I played as a true freshman. It was against Miami, and that Miami defense had 14 first-round draft picks throughout my 4 years on defense alone, off of that team. So I was just seeing orange blurs, and I didn't. I was just praying that I hit the orange blurs, and I played a position that was just physical. Hand me the ball, or I run and I hit people.
Right.
As a quarterback, you got to diagnose stuff. And like I wrote in my article, it was a freshman quarterback being blocked for about 5 freshman offensive linemen, throwing to a freshman wide receiver with a freshman running back on the side of him. On a freshman DB. Like that's still good. That just means that those two teams are going to be good for a while.
Well, Alabama's been good for a little while, and they keep on getting, it's like, last year you got, 11, 12 players that went into the draft, and then this year it's like they win the national championship. It's just like this, it's like it never stops. It just keeps on going and going and going. But what do you think about now as far as the quarterback situation there at Alabama?
Well, there's going to be competition, and it's easy to say that Tua will be the starter for the next few years, but you never know what's going to happen. I look at 2 examples. Actually, my university, my alma mater, is both of them. Mm-hmm. So you've got Alabama won a national championship with the backup from FSU that transferred out. That guy left because he got beat out by Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston leaves early. That guy could have been a starter for us. Sean McGuire ends up getting there. You have a guy comes in and takes his position. You just because you think it's your position doesn't necessarily mean that. Right. When you play elite level college football, really I say the top 50 schools in the NCAA, every year they're bringing in your replacement. When I played, it was a guy, BJD, a really good fullback who was the same year as me. He started as a redshirt freshman, and I was a true freshman. I ended up taking the position our sophomore year and never really gave it back. So you really don't know how it's going to play out. So if I were, I always forget his name. I called him Brittany Griner Jr. It kind of looks like her a little bit.
Hurts.
If you really think about it, like, put a picture. Have you ever seen them two in the same place?
Like Mike Tomlin and Omar Epps.
Yeah. He's athletic enough to be able to move to another position, but Saban will get him to buy in, and that is just crazy. Like, he'll sacrifice, and you never know what's gonna happen. It's very hard to project 3-4 years down the road.
I feel like Nick Saban can sell anything to anyone. Like, he could sell you water that you're taking out of your faucet at home. Like, this man sells the dream. I mean, he is almost a college pimp. He got he runs a good game. They've got a great system there. I mean, from what we've heard from a previous guest was that you walk through the halls, getting recruited through Alabama. All they got is stories and pictures of guys that have come through there that have made it to the league. So, do you want to be one of these guys, or do you want to go play at some other school where you may not make it? I mean, hello.
In all reality, there's a lot of schools like that.
Yeah.
Nick Saban it's all business, and if a certain type of kid has to go there, and then that actually recruits itself. Nick Saban doesn't need to have elite recruiters that are slick talking. All Nick Saban has to do is tell you this: since 2000, every guy that I've ever recruited has won a national championship.
That's it.
So it's bigger aspirations. So your biggest aspiration is to play in the NFL. Doesn't work like that all the time. But would you like to leave with some hardware, some great experiences, and on your job application, like when you go in for an interview and you wear this national championship ring? Or like he can now do what Coach Bowden used to do. He's the greatest. Saban's the greatest coach of all time. Like, would you like to come and play for the greatest coach of all time? So now that becomes one of the recruiting statements. So I mean, it's not that there are any. And the strangest thing is this: Alabama doesn't do anything extraordinary. They just do it excellent. It's what's coming. When I watched them play FSU, it was painful. It's like this punch is about to come. The problem is you can't do anything to stop it.
No. Well, it was. Let's say it was a great game. And then moving on to this last weekend, we go into the NFL. We have, the divisional playoffs. We had games that were easy. We had the Patriots and the Titans. That didn't seem to, no one was, surprised by that. But then we've got your guys down there, the Jacksonville Jaguars taking down the Steelers. You guys, we can talk about that game first of all, and some of the comments maybe Jalen Ramsey has made, as well as some of the comments that we've heard off the field in regards to them being able to, they're going to win the Super Bowl and they're going to take it all down. But what is it that changes? I mean, we know Blake Bortles, he doesn't show up to every game the same person. So will the Blake Bortles that showed up versus the Steelers, is he going to come play against the Patriots in the same way, or what will they need to do as a team to hopefully take down the Patriots? Because I know, even like everybody says, we may not be Jaguars fans, but we all hate the Patriots, so we're all rooting for you.
Exactly. Let me start off by saying this. Everybody got a little bit of DUUUVAL in them this weekend.
Man, I had that yelling at me all day when I was in that game in Seattle, or the Seahawks game down there. I was like, Duval, because, in Seattle, there is actually a small town called Duval. So I'm looking around like, what's Duval? I didn't know what Duval was until I got to Jacksonville.
Well, you should have asked my man Cliff Avery. We could have told you he's from this way, from County South.
Right.
But this Jacksonville Jaguars team really plays off of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
So Blake Bortles, it doesn't matter what Blake Bortles comes. If that defense does what that defense is designed to do one thing, and that's disrupt and aggravate. And this was all Tom Coughlin hasn't been really needed outside of his accountability factor all season except for this. So Patriot fans are looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars and thinking, oh, that's just Jacksonville. They ain't never been no good. Without realizing that Jacksonville's daddy is the dude that's been whipping your ass every time you go to the Super Bowl with the New York Giants. He's the architect of that defense.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that team. So when you think about those Giants teams that beat the Patriots,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Eli Manning, look at Eli Manning's first 4 years in New York. Look at Blake Bortles' first 4 years. Eerily comparable. Actually, Blake Bortles' 4 years are better than Eli's 4 years. When you look at the defensive line of the Jaguars, look at that defensive line that the Giants had in both of those Super Bowls. And the difference is that Jags have a better secondary than New York had. Now, if you think about the wide receivers that New York has, I don't remember any of them.
No.
Name a Jaguar wide receiver. I covered the Jaguars and can barely name a wide receiver. We got a homeless guy. A guy who don't know what the hell is going on. A guy who doesn't know why he's on the roster, and a guy who's in concussion protocol every week. That's our 4 wide receivers right now. And Blake Bortles, who's out there, we call it Duval Dimes. They're not very good but they get to where they need to be at. So, I mean, Blake is going to get a wide receiver laid out. Right now, the thing that he's done a very good job of that he hasn't done in the past is throw pick six. So as long as he doesn't turn the ball over and Leonard Fournette is able to do what he needs to do, Jacksonville's going to be all right. Because the defensive player of the year, and possibly one of the largest men that I've ever seen. I'm a large dude, not small at all. Calais Campbell dwarfs me. I mean, and he's scary. Boy. His voice sounds like it's nightmarish. So he's a bad boy, and he bullies people. So if he's able to get in Tom's face and they're able to make Tom have to move, which he doesn't like and they don't do often, like I can see this happening. Am I gonna go as far as my sassy alumni brethren, Jalen Ramsey? No, but I do understand why they have that thought process and that energy. And really, Jalen, Malik Jackson, Marcel Darius, they have a good combination of veterans and young guys that can give you that energy and give you that veteran leadership to where they're able to come out and just ready to compete. They're a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
So who do you got going to the Super Bowl, and who's taking it all?
All right, so it's going to be Jacksonville, Philly, right? And the reason why is for nothing but selfish reasons, because they're going to take the station is like going to let us go up there. Cover it. So like I kind of need Jacksonville to go.
So can we get some live feeds from you if that's the case?
Oh yes. So y'all are like so I've been real Twitter heavy. But like if you like you can, I have a public page, so it's my full government name, James Anthony Coleman II. Go check it out. Like it is like I'm gonna have Facebook Live pop. And whatever. It's cold up there, so I don't really know how. I gotta go buy. I got something called a pea coat, but I gotta
Scully. You better get you a Scully.
Yeah, I gotta get a Scully. The dreads get cold. Like when I was in Philly for the Army Navy game, I thought my hair was gonna help me, but it didn't.
Yeah, not unless you got one of them buns like Derrick Henry or something, maybe. I don't know.
Now Derek's my dude. That's one of my kids I train. But yeah, Derek, it's time to retire. Get dressed.
Yeah. Once you start pushing that line farther and farther back, I don't know.
Speaking of that, like real quick, I know we're talking about sports. Like, have y'all ever seen? Is there any? Am I the only person who noticed Stevie Wonder's hair?
Oh, no. Please. Do you realize that Coolio still is in Vegas and we see his hair every once in a while and he's still got them 2 little pom-poms for no reason?
Right. Like, he's not that blind. Nobody's that blind. like
his stylist ain't that
clean.
blind. Right.
Yeah. It's clean bald. And, like, the problem is, I know locticians, they not even, like, discounting the 2 dreads they got to twist. Full price. But anyways, but yeah, so like I think it'll be the Jags Philly. Only reason I say I'm picking against the Patriots and the Evil Empire, the Dark Lord Sith or whatever that Star Wars mess is this is the only team that can really give them fits. And the playoffs, if you play good defense and have a solid run game, and don't turn the ball over, you can go very far. I see Philly winning because I don't like either one of those quarterbacks, but I just think Philly's defense, and I use Coach Bowden, my coach at Florida State's philosophy. How I root for teams that aren't my favorite teams is based upon who has the most Seminoles on their roster. So Philly has the most alumni, but shout out to Xavier Rhodes, who the other, like him and Jalen are the top 2 corners in the NFL. You know, shout out to him. You had a good run, bro. But I think it's going to be Philly, Jacksonville. And also, I don't know what it's like in Seattle. The only thing I know about Seattle is Frasier, which is one of my favorite shows. And I'm not sure that's a good representation. But I do know if you saw how the stadium was when you came down here for the Seattle game, right?
Yeah.
It was rocking. Like, the whole city is like that. I've been doing sports talk radio for 3 years, and I've had to say the Jaguars suck for over 3 years, and I'm in year 4 now, and they're really good. Like, our station isn't even prepared to, like, cover them right now. Because we didn't plan for this. But, like, the energy in the city is just amazing. So, like, if they win the Super Bowl, like, or they go to the Super Bowl, like Minnesota will, like, be taking over. Like, we had a show, we didn't even know that, like, Minneapolis, St. Paul, like it was an actual big city. It's a big market, so it's
y'all don't get out too much.
Like, well, no, it's just like we think that's Canada, so
right?
Like, we don't really nobody wants to hear. Like, I don't want to really go to Minnesota, but for the Super Bowl, I'll go. I live in Florida. We go hotter. We don't go. No,
yeah, it's like -2 right now.
Yeah, so like it doesn't. So we can't fathom that people would choose to live in those kind of conditions like on purpose. When there's the whole South, well, most of the South, Florida, like, don't go to Alabama, Mississippi. I'm terrified of those two states.
Hey, I've had some fun in Alabama. I can't lie.
God bless you. I'm an African-American studies major. I'm just saying, it wasn't that long ago, and I'm terrified. I'm an outspoken black dude with dreads, large.
I get it. No, when I went there, it was to Alabama A&M. So my girlfriend went to school there, so we went for homecoming.
Okay, well, cool. So you were there. Like,
I was there. Like, I wasn't just going to, like, hang out in some old. No, we had a good time, but I'll leave it at that.
I just got to say that I'm rooting for the Jags as well. I hope y'all make it.
Yeah, we're hoping. I mean, I want the Jags to win simply because I want the Pats to lose. But I do like the Jacksonville Jaguars. I do like some of their players. I really enjoyed Cash's. I don't know how Calais Campbell could even predict a score, but if you could ask him for me lottery numbers or Mega Million numbers, because, it would be really nice if I could just win the jackpot one day, if he's so good with numbers.
Like probably what happened was that I've interviewed Calais and I've been around. I'm not afraid of any man. He went to my rival, and I don't really remember playing against him, but it's no way we were on the field at the same time, and he's that large. But we interviewed him. I think it might have been at Cliff Avrill's football camp that he has here, that we helped, me and my partner helped run, or Malik's camp. But he told me to my face that this was a playoff team, that they were going to win, and I was going to have to apologize to him. And I laughed at him. I said, you're crazy. We'll be lucky to win 6 games, and Florida State's going to beat Miami 8 times in a row. So I'm wrong on all of those. Apparently, I believe Calais went to the official or the scoreboard operator and said, hey, this is what the score is going to be, and you're going to get involved or I'm going to knock your ass out. And the scoreboard operator probably said, yes, sir, Mr. Calais.
Yes, sir.
If that's what you say, that's what it's going to be.
Love it.
That's
Hey, before we
hilarious.
wrap this up, just tell us a little bit about Boost Sports Performance.
Yeah, Boost Sports Performance is I call it it's the Jordan brand of performance training. So you could go get Saucony's or go do anything else. You know, you can go to your Anytime Fitness or any of those types of gyms, and you may be able to get quality. But this right here, you know what it's known for. In my 10 years of doing this, I've seen over 500 athletes go Division I in various sports. I've had 75 All-Americans, and I've had 50 NFL draft prospects. We create programs designed for the athlete, and we have it from ages 8 to 88. So everybody's an athlete that walks through the doors. Again, you talked about Derrick Henry. So we have a Heisman Trophy winner that comes out of our program. We do a lot more on the prep level and get them ready for college. But a lot of those college guys, they come back to do their combine training or do their NFL offseason training. So right now we got about 25 guys that are just kind of in there, staying in shape, getting ready for that next phase of what they want to do. It's a cool job. I get to be around athletes. It's actually what helped me get the radio gig. We do writing, we have books, we have different things like that. So trainwithbsp.com is where you get the information. I just love being able to help kids, help guys go to whatever that next level is in their life. So right now we've got 2 gyms in the First Coast area. Once we get this stuff figured out, hopefully we'll be able to expand and we'll market that Florida speed.
That's awesome. Well, James, where can everybody find you, either on Twitter, Instagram, your social media accounts?
At Big Game James 36, like the number, don't spell it out. Big Game James 36. You go look those things up. You should be able to find me on Facebook the same way. Or if you want to see my articles, I typically screenshot the article, put the link in my bio for my author page. Cover all football and whatever topics I feel interesting. Mm-hmm. And I try to come from the perspective of an athlete that's a fan. So I'm not trying to talk to you like you're stupid, but I'm trying to educate people on things that they may not know and intricacies that nobody else will really talk to. I have no intention of ever being like an ESPN type guy. Maybe FS1, except for I don't really like Jason Whitlock. But yeah, real talk. If I ever see Jason Whitlock, it's on site. But so,
we're gonna have a Vegas parlay bets on that for you next time if you guys ever meet. So.
No doubt. But it's like how me and my partner Denny do our show, Sports Day. You can follow that at @sportsday_live. It's just 2 guys who know sports that love being around people that love chopping it up.
I love it. So before you leave us, you know I'm going to ask you, right? You know what I want to hear about.
Yeah.
I want to hear about these nuts.
Nothing brings me more pleasure than a woman asking me about how much nuts taste.
I mean, I'm trying to tell you, you know? Yes, please tell me about these nuts. How do they taste? Where can I try them?
If you're ever in Jacksonville, you got to hit me up. Well, actually, that really sounds bad. You can go to one of our sponsors. His company's called Randy's Nuts. There's a running joke. I love wings. And lemon pepper wet wings are my favorite wings. So it's like lemon pepper dry rub with hot sauce, tossed in hot sauce. So Big Game James playoff nuts taste like lemon pepper hot wings. Lemon pepper hot wings. So that's what it is. They're savory, they're delicious. You suck all the juice out. I don't know if y'all know how to eat a shell. Because we actually had to teach people how to eat boiled peanuts there. I don't understand. Maybe it's a southern thing.
It is.
It's a southern thing for sure. Yeah.
It's all right, so it's definitely the boiled peanuts are juicy, they're big, brown, juicy.
I like the sound of this already.
Yeah. You suck the juice out, now this is the painful part. You crack the shell and then you have the peanut that's in there. But
and then you got nuts in your mouth and they're good.
Yeah, now you got nuts in your mouth.
Right.
Randy's Nuts is one of our sponsors. It's one of my favorite reads. Like it's the same. I get paid to actually do that read. It's awesome.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, James, for
We
coming by.
appreciate it.
We appreciate it. I had to get it. I needed to hear it for myself. I had to get it taped. I needed to have it on the show. So I appreciate you. We'll definitely be checking out for you. I'll be looking for the championship nets as soon as you guys win the Super Bowl. So please keep us posted on that. We might have to have a special like FedEx delivery or something.
But definitely, if you shoot me your information, I'll make sure. If we get some I will send you some championship nuts.
That's what I'm talking about.
Every life's too short for women to be going for any type of nuts other than championship nuts.
That's my new motto. Championship nuts
2018
only.
motto.
Hashtag.
2018, shoot your shot, get you some championship nuts.
I love it. All right, James, thank you so much.
All right, no doubt.
Once again, big thank you to Mr. James Coleman for joining us on the show today. Episode 62 was amazing. But before we leave you, of course, we got to touch on a few subjects, right?
Arms of the NFL.
After talking about nuts, I got to go straight into arms of the NFL. You guys, if you've never done anything this weekend on Sunday between the hours of 12 and maybe 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, please look out for these arms. Everson Griffin, number 97, defensive end for the Vikings. He was one of the guys on the, did you see? First of all, he is super just beautiful. He has amazing teeth. I think I have a thing for teeth too.
But he has some massive guns.
Yeah, massive. 6'3", massive guns. Anyways, Brandon Bolden, he's a running back for the Patriots, number 38. Look out for him as well. And you don't hear too many wide receivers on our list because sometimes they're a little bit, tall, like maybe tall and lengthy, more long arms versus girthy arms, I guess you could say. But Marquise Lee, number 11 for the wide receiver for the Jaguars, he is definitely one to keep an eye out for in New England at Gillette Stadium this weekend. So please check out those three guys. Also for the oohs and ahs, here's the deal. As a daddy's girl I was, watching Drew Brees lose that game with the Saints, and then the next morning waking up and seeing an Instagram picture of him painting his daughter's toes for her birthday. Aww.
Dad goals.
Dad goals for real. Shout out to Drew Brees. Even though you lost the game, you came back and you won your daughter's heart. That's all that matters. Aww. Happy birthday to her. Also, some funny news. The Jacksonville Bakery had sent turnovers to Big Ben, thanking him for helping the Jags get into the AFC Championship game. So way to go, bakeries in Jacksonville. That was a pretty good one.
All the turnovers.
And then also in a really interesting news, so we all saw Millie, the 99-year-old Vikings fan who went to her first playoff game. She was sitting there. You saw her sipping on her screwdriver in the stands watching the guys win. She was very excited. Well, come to find out, there's a little challenge right now. There's also a 99-year-old Eagles fan in Philadelphia who, like Millie, was basically born and raised in the area, been there for so long. And he's a diehard Eagles fan. So today on Good Morning Football, they had this whole tale of the tape, comparing the two. We got Millie Wall for the Vikings, Phil Bazer for the Eagles, both born in 1918, both diehard fans. So I love it, and I can only hope to one day be 99, going to football games, enjoying them, and watching my team win.
But not drinking screwdrivers.
Hey, listen, if she can still do it, shit, go for it, Millie. I ain't mad at you. I'm rooting for you. And last but not least, just a quick, our condolences, even for, me as a Husky. It was some pretty sad news this morning waking up. A backup quarterback for Washington State, Tyler Hilinski, was found dead in his apartment on Tuesday. Authorities are looking into investigating his death, but they think it's an apparent suicide. So it's pretty sad, at that young of age that somebody would commit suicide. Obviously, mental health is a serious issue. Please reach out to anyone. Call the suicide prevention hotline if you know anybody that's going through those kind of things. But again, condolences to the family, to his teammates, to everybody out there in Pullman and the community. Our thoughts and prayers are out to you guys. So anyways, that concludes episode 62.
Yeah, you can find me on all social media platforms, S_Wash.
And you can find me, Melissa, at Seattle, 4_life. That's Seattle 4_life. And you can find us on all social media at GirlChatSports. I promise next podcast I will not be sick. Thanks, you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks for checking out another great episode of Girl Chat Sports. And remember, we don't have balls, but we know how to cover them. Until next time, guys.